Welcome to Friday Friends, RI Elder Info's weekly look at the organizations and individuals providing resources for Rhode Island seniors, caregivers, and professionals.
Good morning, everybody. Happy Friday. It is almost 9 o'clock on Friday, and I am Deb Burton, Executive Director of RI Elder Info, a nonprofit here in Rhode Island that brings you Friday Friends every week to share information and resources about organizations that you or someone you know needs to know about. So, because this is something that someone you know or care about needs to know about, really important that you hit the like and the share button. And if you have any questions or comments, feel free to put that in the chat box. So, as I mentioned, we are a 501c3 nonprofit, and we could not do this work without the support of our sponsors. So, a big shout out to Aetna and United Healthcare, Oak Street Health, England Studios, 321 Media, and JD Solutions is our brand new sponsor. So this week, we are talking about a wonderful nonprofit that has just gone through some updates. I would like to welcome Sarah DeCataldo from Pride in Aging, Rhode Island.
Good morning. How are you?
Good. How are you, Sarah?
Good. Thanks so much for having me today. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no, I'm glad you were able to come. So please share with everybody, what is Pride in Aging in RI, and what did you used to be?
Sure. So we recently changed our name to Pride in Aging as of January 1st. We're formerly Sage RI, and we provide education, training, advocacy, and support for LGBTQ senior citizens here in Rhode Island.
That is awesome. And are there a lot of individuals in Rhode Island that are older and members of the LGBTQ plus community?
There are. We don't know 100% how many there are because of lots of different barriers to disclosing. But absolutely. And we have a weekly virtual cafe that we host every week. Prior to COVID, it was monthly. So COVID actually gave us this great opportunity to expand our services and offer it weekly to folks. And we have around 15 folks online every week, joining, hearing from various speakers, and just coming together to share space and be less isolated, especially during the past couple of years.
Oh yeah, COVID has really changed a lot of things for so many people, and I think in a lot of ways it's allowed us the opportunity to get connected online in ways that maybe we wouldn't have in the past.
Mm-hmm.
So, what kinds of activities does Pride in Aging RI look forward to doing?
Absolutely. So, in addition to our weekly virtual cafe, we used to host a monthly in-person cafe. We've brought it back twice so far, so we do hope to continue that. I think that's probably more of a spring and summer event for our seniors, because we don't want to create a situation where anyone feels unsafe. But that's going to be really important to us. We also work and partner with other LGBTQ organizations in the state and other senior serving organizations in the state to help promote advocacy and legislation that supports both populations. And we do a lot of education and training for assisted living, nursing homes, long-term care, to help them gain a better understanding of issues impacting LGBTQ senior citizens and how to properly care for folks later in life. For so many of our LGBTQ seniors, they're fearful of entering into assisted living or long-term care because they're unsure how people are going to treat them, or if people are going to understand their identity. And so providing that education and training is a really big piece of the work that we've been doing the past few years. And we've been doing it virtually as well. So we're looking forward to continuing that both virtually and in person.
We hear a lot of craziness on the news. Are our older adults still experiencing discrimination, or do you feel like it's maybe society is more accepting than it was?
I think it really depends. Every person's experience is different and their own. And I would like to sit here and say that, we've come a long way and that there really isn't any discrimination. But from what we hear from folks, there still is. And I think that that discrimination is actually more about fear of the unknown and a lack of knowledge and information about a certain population. And so that's why our education and training is so important. We have one SAGE member who's identifies as a trans woman and talks about her fear of going into assisted living and having to have someone assist her with shaving every day and whether this person would feel comfortable doing that. So the more that we can educate folks about the fears that LGBTQ seniors experience and face, and the ways that folks can put their personal feelings aside and just be able to focus on the work and caring for individuals and sharing that mutual respect, I think that we can set them up for success later in life.
So you made me think of something, and I'm not sure where it stands. If there is a couple, an LGBT couple, are they allowed to, say, share a room, or can they visit in the hospital? Can one partner make decisions for the other if it's a medical emergency? Is that allowed?
Again, it really depends on the individual couple and what they have in place. If they're
Mhm.
legally married, then, absolutely they can make those decisions. Or if they have a power of attorney in place or a living will in place, that's going to dictate that. If they don't and someone goes into the hospital, it's really going to be determined based on the hospital's policies and protocols.
And so that person who may have been, or may be, not past tense, may be a lifetime partner may not be able to have access
Again,
to their loved
depending
one.
on the situation. Yeah, unfortunately,
Yep.
unless they have those things in existence.
Right. And now, is that something that Pride in Aging is working on educating the healthcare providers that the people have lifetime partners? And I would imagine marriage isn't for everybody. And that's
Right.
true regardless of the gender of your partner. Um, so is that something that Pride in Aging is working to provide education on, that um, it may be a same-sex partner?
Absolutely. And we also have really great resources here in Rhode Island who are continuing to advocate for policy change and a continuing education in our healthcare fields. GLAD is one of those great resources that does a lot of really great work. So, absolutely. It's every day someone is out there doing something to make sure that the world is a friendlier place for our LGBTQ seniors.
Awesome. Now, I have seen that there are some facilities that are certified or approved as an LGBT friendly community. Is that something that your organization does, or is that another organization that you work in conjunction with?
Sure. So the LGBTQ Safe Zone is actually through Blue Cross Blue Shield of Rhode Island,
Okay.
which is really it's an amazing feature, and we're excited to have supported many of the organizations who are now going after that safe zone registration. So we're really excited that Blue Cross has decided to do that. It's been a few years now, and there's a number of community-based organizations and healthcare organizations throughout the state that now have that certification. And that certification entails certain policies and protocols that they have to have in place, mandatory staff training that they have to have in place, which is great. So when folks either are trying to get that certification or have recently obtained it, we'll have some folks that reach out to us looking for that training and education so they can meet that qualification.
So, if anybody watching has an organization and they would like their employees to receive that training, they can reach right out to Pride and RI?
Yes, absolutely. We're still going through a little bit of a transition with our name change.
Mhm.
We were formerly known as Sage RI. We were a member organization of the national organization Sage, which you may have heard of. But National Sage went through a strategic planning process over the past year, and they wanted to be more open and welcoming to as many different organizations as possible. So they moved away from their membership model and move towards a partnership model. So that just meant that we had to change our name so that way we were our own kind of standing organization. But we viewed it as a really great opportunity because we've been getting a lot of publicity and outreach, getting our name out there, which is wonderful. And we feel like this new name really accurately represents the work that we're doing in the community. So long-winded answer, yes, please reach out to us. Our old email address is being updated with our technology, so you can still reach out to us at sageriinfo@gmail.com. Our new email address will be info@prideinagingri.com. We're on Facebook as Pride in Aging RI, and our website is prideinagingri.com as well.
That is awesome. Now, are you a nonprofit?
Yes.
And if people watching wanted to support you, how could they do that? Like, do you need
That's a great
volunteers?
question.
Do you need donors? Do you need board members? Like, what would best work?
All of the above. No, so Pride in Aging, we're a membership organization. And so we would love to have folks check out our website to learn about what it means to become a member. You get access to our weekly e-news, you get access to our virtual cafe, our monthly cafe, other events that we host, education and resources. We are always looking for folks who want to give a gift and donate, and we're always looking for volunteers. We recently went through a board capacity building process, and we're most likely going to be going into another board recruitment process. So if folks out there are looking for ways to get involved, there are opportunities to join the board. We also have various subcommittees, one of which is our action subcommittee, and they work on supporting legislation. And then half of the group works on supporting legislation, and the other half works on coming up with events and outreach activities to engage the community as well. So we can all hands on deck to do this work. So if anyone is interested, please reach out.
And that's good. Many hands make the load light.
Absolutely. And I should say, we are currently an all volunteer run organization. And I have to say how impressed I am with the organization, how quickly they shifted to virtual. And since COVID started, we went through an organizational capacity building process, racial equity education and training, and a name change process, and a new board onboarding process. And so the fact that this small but mighty group of volunteers has been able to accomplish so much over the past 3 years has really just been amazing, and just goes to show if you put us to work, we'll get it done.
I love it. And see, that's that sense of teamwork. Teamwork makes the dream work.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah, Sarah, I would love to have you back on in the future to talk more about this. Would you be available in the future to come back on?
Of course, anytime.
Yeah, because I think there's just so much growing and excitement surrounding these changes that I want to help you amplify that.
Thank you. We appreciate it. And we would appreciate the opportunity to come in and share a little bit more about what we do with the community.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for coming on today. I really do appreciate it.
Thank you.
Everybody, I'm telling you, I love the new name, Pride in Aging in RI. I think it really gives a sense of strength, and I think a sense of unity. I love this new name. It's a great organization that is really doing some amazing stuff. So if you have an opportunity, I encourage you to support them and join, volunteer, become a member. consider being on their board, fundraisers, donating all those fun things, because it really is an organization that's making a real difference in individuals' lives. So I'm really glad you're all able to join me today. I did want to give a quick message that the SNAP benefits through Medicaid, the SNAP benefits are changing due to the change in the COVID pandemic. So it's the last extra SNAP benefits will be received on February 1st, and then any additional monies that you used to get through SNAP will be coming to an end, and you will see that reflected in the March SNAP benefits. Also, because there's changes in the COVID pandemic, the Medicaid program is going to be sending out some renewal paperwork to everybody. And it's really important that they have your correct address and phone number. You can go right onto the Department of Human Services website and go to My Profile and make sure that that information is updated. And I'm going to have Director Novias on in a few weeks to talk more about that. But I'm so glad you're all able to join me today. I look forward to seeing you next week. Next week, we're going to be in February already. In the meantime, be well and be kind.
If you liked this video, please follow us on social media and subscribe on YouTube. For more information, visit rielderinfo.com or call 401-585-0509. If you have any questions, email deb@rielderinfo.com.